Hello, this is Sahila again. Good morning, good evening, whichever part of the world you're in. Um, we are here to talk about a very crucial topic today in the whole world, in fact, about the pandemic. And so I want to explain this from a different viewpoint. You must have heard about the pandemic from the news, from different social media platforms. But here I'm going to talk about its connection with the spirituality and Sanatana Dharma. So, the questions are, or the topic is, some parts of the world are more severely affected from COVID-19, but some are not. What are the different types of karma? And can spirituality be the answer to our scientific problems today? Um, so, so, just a little bit of a recap on what's happening. So, COVID 19 has spread to at least 178 countries globally. 13 million people are infected with the virus. And so far, probably the number is increasing as we speak. We have reported 600,000 deaths. 16 countries, some from Africa and Asia, have not having any confirmed cases so far. In Africa, there are countries like Yemen, Sierra Burundi, Malawi, South Sudan, and some parts of Western Sahara that has no cases. And in Asia, some countries like Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, and North Korea also have no reported cases. So this brings us to India. What's happening in India? So this is Darvi. All of you must have seen this in the popular Hollywood movie called Slumdog Millionaire. Here is about 1 million people live in the 1 square mile area, and 8 to 10 people live in a room not bigger than 10 by 10 feet. 80% of them use community toilets. The slum had about 274 cases and 6 deaths as of third week of June. Now, this number is much less compared to the rest of the India. The whole of Mumbai, we had 90,000 cases confirmed and 6,000 deaths. The doubling rate in June in Dharavi was 44 days, and that of Mumbai was 22 days, and the doubling time in India at that point was 26 to 27 days. But again, as we speak, we are in August now, and close to August, the statistics and numbers are changing every day. So now in Dharavi, the numbers may be slightly higher. But if you live in India, you will know how the slum works. It's right. Now, there is no concept of social distancing, and many of them don't even know what a sanitizer is. So we would have expected a big surge of coronavirus cases in Dharavi, but that didn't happen they had less number of cases to start with compared to the rich, powerful neighborhoods here in Mumbai. So, like this, we have small pockets everywhere around the world. Now, the other country everyone talks about is Japan. Japan has a population of 126 million with only 25,000 cases and 900 deaths so far, despite being close to China and other heavily infected countries in Asia. So, the question that we want to raise today is, why did the pandemic happen in such heavy and rapid manner? Why only some parts of the world are severely affected and some are not? What is the pandemic trying to teach that science has failed to explain? And what is the bigger picture that we all need to take home today from the pandemic? So this is the question that all of us have asked at some point or the other in the past 6 months, right? In some form or the other. So what I did some searching and studying, and I found some very interesting and deep explanations that I wanted to share with you all, which is mostly from Sanatana Dharma. And so in spiritual sense, what we are asking is, why some people experience sukha or joy and some people experience dukkha or during the tough pandemic times. Now, this cannot be controlled by God, right? So, sukha, as we all know, is joy, and dukkha is the sorrows. Now, this is not decided by God. Because if it is, then he would be called as someone very partial or favorable to some people. But that's not, we all know that's not true, and he would be disliked. But that's not the case. Everybody is more turning towards spirituality at this time. So, what God is, or the supreme power is, like an aid or margadarshi. In Sanskrit, we have margadarshi or aid. He helps us during our toughest times, but he's not the one who's deciding the future. That is what Sanatana Dharma says. So if God is not the one deciding our future, then who is the one deciding our future? That is the big question that we all have today, correct? So this brings us to our first slide. So what determines future, the sukha or dukkha, is two factors, karma and kala. Now, I know karma is a very commonly used word in India and all over the world now, right? And it's also very commonly misused word. So I'm going to explain in very simple terms by pictures and explanations. So when the talk is over, you will understand what this pandemic and future holds for you in a spiritual sense. So coming back to these two questions, what is karma and what is kala? In simple terms, karma is nothing but the quality of your life, and kala determines the quantity of the life. So let's first talk about kala, or the time. Now, even on a daily basis, time has a big influence on your mood, right? So if it is rainy, you're in a mood to do something. If it is sunny, you want to do something else. Similarly, nobody gets up in the night to go to work, unless you have some special night calls. There is a particular time that we do a particular things. So the time can be like 24 hours in a day, or it can be 4 seasons in a year. But everything plays a role in determining what we do and how we do it, correct? So that is the kala, or the time. So in order to explain this in a more broad sense, I'm going to use this graph, which shows a life expectancy here, and this is the century. So we are going to compare the so if you look at this graph, you see in the 17th and the 1800s, the life expectancy was between 30 and 40. And now you see in the 2018, our life expectancy is beyond 70 years. So many people think that if you have a long life expectancy, then you have done something good. But that is not true in the karmic sense, right? It also depends on which time you were born. So Swami Vivekananda, he's an icon in the 18th century. He died at 39 because that was average for those years. And that does not mean he lived a poor or an unworthy life. If he lived in the 21st century, then he would have lived longer, right? So whether the person who lives longer is living a happier life or not, that is decided by karma. So again, coming back to this, so karma decides the quality of the life, whether you are living a fruitful life, and kala decides the life expectancy. So so a person may have lived till 80 years, but if he's been suffering from all kinds of disease and ailments starting at 30, then he's had a poor quality of life. That means he has not done enough good karma, right? So in order to experience this sukha, both karma and kala have to be in our favor. Now, how do we do this? The kala, the time, is not completely under our control, but the karma is under our control, because karma is determined from the way we think and from our actions, correct? So in order to understand how this karma works, I want to show you the next slide. There are 3 types of karma. And Sanchita karma, prarabdha karma and agami karma. You may have heard this in some spiritual books, but it's very simple. I'll explain to you. Now, sanchita is a karma incurred from all the from the previous births, taking into account all the actions that were done. For example, if you were a good devoted human being in the previous birth, but you died young due to famine or pandemic, which was a very common reason 100 years ago, then but all of the good actions that you did in the previous birth will be in your karmic memory, and it will have a positive effect in your quality of life today. So such a person will automatically be born into a rich or an educated family, or will live a more virtuous life, meaning you will be given better privileges right from your birth than a person who was born in an underprivileged family. So once your birth circumstances is decided from this, then your prarabdha karma starts. That is the second type of karma. Now, this is the karma incurred from this birth to the present moment. So, for example, if you have abused someone in this birth, then you are going to incur some big damage or loss to yourself, or probably in this birth or next birth. It can be in the form of a disease, in form of loss of money, loss of loved ones, disability, etc. So if you have done some big contributions to others or to your society and you performed your duties well, so you will automatically rise above others. So most of the saints, when they refer to karma, they refer to prarabdha karma, because this is the most powerful karma, because it has the strongest influence on your current birth, because this is what you incur from this birth. So, and it is said that if you have lived a virtuous life in this birth, then you can erase the bad sanchita karma that you have incurred from the previous birth or from other births, and this will pave the path to your future. So the future is agami karma. Now, what does agami karma say? It is the consequences of results from the present actions, and this leads into your future. So this is the karma that is not yet seen or yet to show itself. This is the only one that can be changed based on our actions and thoughts today. So this is the agami karma. Now, for the agami karma to be good, it is necessary we do good now, right? So that is what so if you're living like a life of, for example, a life of a terrorist today in your prarabdha, then you cannot expect to live a comfortable life in your agami karma or future, correct? So that is the way of looking at the karma based on the three different kinds of karma. There are more different varieties and kinds of karma, but it can be too confusing and I didn't want to get into the depth of it. But if you understand this concept, you will understand to some extent how the karma works. Now, we also use some terms in Sanatana Dharma. You may have heard your parents or grandparents use these in colloquial languages, which are papa, punya, drishtaphala and adrishtaphala. Now, these have very powerful and meaning to it. And these are different ways of looking at karma. So I'm going to explain to you these terms and the significance in today's life and how they can build your karmic imprints. Now, what is papa? Papa is the bad karma accumulated from sanchita and prarabdha that shows up in agami, which is your future. So sanchita is the first karma from the previous births. Prarabdha is from the current life, and this shows in the future. Now, future can be in this birth or in the next few births. Punya is the good karma that's accumulated from sanchita and prarabdha and shows up in the agami karma. Now, so what does the astrologer predict? You know, a lot of people, when they look at this, they look in terms of astrology, right? So the astrologer predicts a path based on your prarabdha karma. He's going to suggest a future path, and he can suggest ways to rectify it, to change this papa or punya in your favor. Now remember, he cannot predict your agami karma. Okay, so if anyone tells you that you're going to become a lawyer in future or you're going to become the president of the country. That's highly unlikely he can predict that, because the future is always decided by our thoughts and actions. It cannot be predicted by someone else. And it is said even that God cannot predict our agami karma. That's why karma is such a powerful tool, and understanding it is the key to our success and our happiness. So this is the way of understanding the papa and the punya. Now coming to the another way of looking at the karma is drishta phala and adrishta phala. Now drishta and adrishta is not luck like how they describe in English. No, it is not the word luck. So actions of our karma that is visible or perceived is drishta phala, and actions of our karma that is invisible or not perceived is adrishta. So when we see the phala or fruits of our action, it is called drishta. When we don't see the phala or fruits of an action, it is called adrishta. But that because we don't see or we see, it does not mean that this adrishta phala occurred by chance. No, that's not the meaning of it. Both adrishta and drishta occur by carefully calculated events of our past and our current life. That is our sanchita and prarabdha karma. So because I believe in karma yoga, I believe and I perceive every fruits of my action as my phala, right? Whether it is good or bad phala, they are both fruits of my own karma. So that is what the Sanatana Dharma is explaining here. So we will stop here because until now, this is the first part of the understanding of the karma. So we went through how individual karma works in shaping our future. In next week, we will talk about a collective karma of a community. So here, stay tuned and I will show you how the karma of a group or a community can help shape the collective karma. And this has a very big role in our pandemic and several other calamities that happens, and how it can be influenced and changed by collective karma. So we will talk about that in the next talk. And before we sign off, I want to share the Yoga Sutra. Klesha Moola Karma Asayo Drishta Adrishta Janma Vedanya. So the obstacles or kleshas are the breeding ground for tendencies that give rise to actions and the consequences or karma thereof. Such obstacles are experienced as visible or invisible obstacles. That is what we discussed. Drishta and adrishta karma or adrishta phala. So it's the fruits of our action. Let me repeat. Obstacles or kleshas, they are the breeding ground for tendencies that give rise to actions and consequences and karma thereof. Such obstacles are experienced as visible or invisible obstacles. So thank you so much for listening. Stay tuned for the next talk next week, which is a concluding part of the pandemic and collective karma. We will go into details of that. And if you have any questions, please post it here on this talk and we can discuss more. And this is a very interesting subject for me, and I'm sure a lot of you will find it interesting when you get to the depth of it. And it will also take away a lot of stresses regarding the pandemic. Thank you so much.